The man couldn't believe his eyes. A supervolcano that had been dormant for 600,000 years had suddenly awakened. As if the end of the world had arrived, flocks of birds frantically fled the area. Moments later, the entire mountain range began shaking violently. Shuer immediately sensed that something terrible was about to happen. He hurried down the mountain with his daughter, but the eccentric man, obsessed with the Mayan prophecy, chose to sacrifice himself. He turned on the radio station and began broadcasting everything that was happening. Before Shuer could make it down the mountain safely, the entire peak suddenly rose hundreds of feet into the air. The supervolcano that had slept for 600,000 years finally erupted. Fortunately, Shuer had just made it off the mountain in time. He honked the horn to signal his ex-wife not to leave. But at that very moment, the ground ahead suddenly collapsed. Shuer decided to take a gamble and slammed on the gas. Luckily, his gamble paid off once again. He immediately told his ex-wife and daughter to get on the plane. He still had to search the eccentric man's car for the map leading to the Ark. Just as Shuer found the map and was about to celebrate, a massive fireball suddenly crashed down from the sky. Beneath him was nothing but flowing lava. The children could only watch in despair as their father's car plunged into the abyss. But there was no time to mourn. Without hesitation, Mark started the plane. To everyone's surprise, Shuer was still alive. His wife quickly begged Mark to stop the takeoff. Shuer's tiny figure desperately chased after the aircraft from behind. With everyone's constant encouragement, he finally grabbed Anna's hand and climbed aboard. Seeing this, Mark immediately increased the throttle. The plane successfully lifted off the ground. At last, they escaped the pursuing volcano. While on board, Shuer examined the map and discovered that the Ark was located in Tibet, China. But they were currently in the United States. Obviously, their small plane could never make the journey, so they flew to Las Vegas instead. By then, the city had already been devastated beyond recognition. Fortunately, a large airport there had not yet been completely destroyed. After landing, they planned to find another plane that could take them to Tibet. However, the airport had already descended into chaos. All flights had been canceled. Just then, Shuer unexpectedly spotted his wealthy employer. The businessman revealed that he had a large aircraft, but without a co-pilot, his captain couldn't take off. Shuer immediately recommended Mark for the position. Without caring about the security guards trying to stop them, everyone rushed toward the airport. They eventually arrived in front of a Russian cargo plane. By then, huge clouds of volcanic ash were sweeping across the area. Everyone hurried aboard, but Mark was only an amateur pilot. Faced with the complicated controls, he had no idea where to start. Fortunately, with the captain's guidance, they managed to start the aircraft. However, the runway ahead had collapsed. There were less than 100 yards left for takeoff, and just as expected, the plane plunged downward.